Hey,
How you doing, Andres?
good. I was wondering if you can help me with the problem on the package.
We'll have time as we're gonna go into breakout groups later, and I can help you then. Okay.
All right.
Let's
Give me forgiveness. I could use headphones on computers.
Oh my gosh, my hair. Let's go, baby. Pon atención. No, amor. Venga, está bien, tu cuerpo que estás tocando.
see.
¿Ya?
Cross country
I'm gonna go get more stuff to make.
Okay.
Dame un beso. Hola, mamá.
Dang, only 3 students are ready.
I'm making rainbow soup. I got rainbow.
Rainbow soup. What goes in rainbow soup?
He's calling me. He's on the phone.
Rainbow syrup.
Yeah,
What?
Done. I need a
¿Cuál? ¿Para entrar en la computadora o entrar en el...? No, es MCS, pero tiene que ser
Hi,
gratis.
Khalil. Hi, Namias.
No chica.
Michael, yeah. Alternatively, you can also send me a message, and I can also provide support like after class and whatnot. Just giving you a heads up, okay? Ay Dios. Can you repeat? I wasn't here. So a lot of people, what they do is, that whenever they're working on IXL, they'll send me a text message about the problem, and then I can provide support to them. So we could do that. Today we're going to be working on IXL. We're going to be working on a different IXL. So we'll talk about it more once we start going into breakout groups. You can't hear me? Do you have the audio muted by any chance? Let's wait one more minute for students to come through. I wonder if anybody recognizes that song. I'd be surprised if somebody does actually. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Andres, I really like your, is that a cheese sandwich with ketchup? I love it.
Yeah, I sort of can hear you, but for some strange reason over here it sounds low, like your voice is low.
What about now?
A little better.
Okay, it could just be the fact that like you have the audio lowered on your computer or on your headset maybe.
I have all volume up and high.
Oof. Try, so I'm streaming it right now on YouTube. Um, Let me give you this link and see if this link works for you. Because then you can just mute the audio on Zoom and you can listen to the YouTube stream, okay?
Right.
Let me know if it works. So, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, and just so we're aware, today we're going to be working on a particular IXL skill, and I'm going to show you how we can master this IXL skill. First things first, though, um, today's quote of the day is stop doubting yourself. You are strong, and show the world what you got. Okay? I was having conversations with a student yesterday where they felt like they were learning some math, but they still, didn't feel comfortable enough with topics and whatnot. And I was like, you're good. Just keep improving and you'll get better. So that's my message to y'all today. Today's learning goals, and I do want you to write this in your notebooks, is I can dilate a shape by graphing and using coordinates. So what we mean by using coordinates is using stuff such as x, comma, y. These are coordinates. And thank you for the reminder. Yes, we are. I can go ahead and uh, let me get the link for the notes if you want to follow along on your computer. You can if you want. If not, it's fine. So today's vocabulary word, it's just coordinates. Coordinates are the values of a point. Specifically speaking, it's the x and y values. So for example, 3 comma 5, the x coordinate is 3 and the y coordinate is 5. Somebody just asked, is it always x comma y? Yes, it is always x comma y. X is the first number and Y is the second number. Right? And the X values go left or right and the Y values go up or down. Give you another 15 seconds to go ahead and copy this. Just a reminder though, you can find this on Canvas and I already posted the link in the chat box. So if you'd like the link again, please let me know. Moving forward with this. So in today's IXL skill, you're all going to be dilating shapes. What this looks like is you're gonna get a shape and you're either gonna make it larger or you're gonna make it smaller. It all depends on what your scale factor is. I'm cutting out. Am I cutting out for anybody else? Okay, okay. There's a very high chance, Fatima, that like you might be far away from your router. Just a reminder though, like if I am cutting out and it's becoming unbearable, you can watch me live on YouTube, okay? I need 100 followers so I can get affiliate with a YouTube. I'm playing. So we're gonna take a shape and we're gonna make it either bigger or smaller. So looking at this particular problem here, graph the image of triangle A, B, C, D. So we have this blue triangle and we want to scale it with a factor of 1/4. So the 1/4,
name.
this is a, what happened, Andres?
Your YouTube name.
My YouTube name is Miguel Olivares. It should be on, I think I gave you the link for the YouTube, right? I'll post it again in the chat box so you can click on it. Brian, can you please unmute your mic and let us know if this is going to be a reduction, meaning we're going to make the shape smaller, or an enlargement, meaning we're going to make it bigger?
Uh, I think smaller. I don't
A-
know.
Absolutely. This is going to be a reduction because our scale factor is 1/4. It is less than 1. So this means we're going to make the shape smaller than what it is. So the first thing you want to do is locate the coordinates of the 3 points. You want to identify the coordinates of the 3 points, and I'm going to use the color green for the coordinates. Cristiano, what are the coordinates of the point D? Do you know the coordinates of point D? You can either say them out loud or you can type them into the chat. And if you don't know, that's fine. I want you to tell me. Okay. Darelli, if you are there, can you please tell me what the coordinates of, oopsie, of D are? What's the X and the Y value for D? Okay. Would anybody like to tell me what the coordinates are of D? Okay. So it looks like we're having some issues finding the coordinates. So let's practice that, okay? So the point is up here. We always start at 0, 0, okay? So am I going to the left or to the right, or am I just going straight up? I'm going straight up, right? Thank you, honesty. I'm just going straight up. So this means that the coordinate for x is going to be 0 since I'm not going to the right or to the left at all. I'm just going straight up. And just like Bricia said, yeah, it goes up by 4. So the coordinates of D are 0, 4. What about for C? Does anybody want to take a guess at what the coordinates for C are? I'll help you out a little bit. What are the coordinates of C? Maria Enrica, can you please unmute your mic and explain how you got your coordinates? Maria Enrica? Okay then, I have no idea why it's too loud in here. Okay. So the reason I wanted to call on Maria Enrica is because most of you were giving me you were switching the numbers around. So remember, you first want to go in the horizontal direction, right? It's the X value. You first move in the X direction and you move a total of 8 units. And then you're going to go down by 8. Exactly. It's X comma Y. So it's 8 comma negative 8. A lot of you gave me the or other direction, negative 8 comma 8, but that would mean this up here, negative 8 comma 8. And last but not least, what about B? You first move in the X direction and then in the Y direction. So let's see, let me start from the bottom up. Oh, another student wants to come in. What's the X coordinate for B? What's the X coordinate? This is free participation points. Negative 4. Negative 4. And then what's the Y coordinate? How far down do you have to go? Thank you to those of you who are typing into the chat, either publicly or privately. Yeah, negative 8. You go all the way down to negative 8. So this particular IXL skill has you identifying points. And if that's where you're having issues with, the best thing you could be doing right now is participating so that you know whether you're going to be doing this right or if you're going to be doing this wrong. So once you've identified the points for this triangle, the second thing you got to do, multiply the point by the scale factor. So the scale factor here is 1/4, which means, and I'm gonna write this in red, multiplying by 1/4 is the same thing as dividing by 4. Multiplying by 1/4 is the same thing as dividing by 4. So let's go ahead and divide by 4. Let's start with C. What's 8 divided by 4? 2. What's -8 divided by 4? -2. Thank you, Shayla. Let's go to B now. What's -4 divided by 4?
-1.
-1. Thank you so much to whoever unmuted themselves. I didn't see who it was. What about -8 divided by 2? Sorry, -8 divided by 4. -2, right? For those of you who just joined us and are having issues connecting, a lot of people are able to hear me. It could just be your internet. So I'm gonna send the YouTube link for the class, which it shouldn't lag because it should buffer according to your internet speed. Let's do D now. So what's 0 divided by 4? 0. Yeah, this is a tricky one. Whenever you divide 0 by anything, it's always 0. And what about 4 divided by 4? 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So let me just explain what we just did. We had this triangle. We want to make it smaller by a factor of 1/4. We found the coordinates of D, which were 0, 4, the coordinates of C, which were 8, -8, and the coordinates of B, which were -4 and -8. Once we found the coordinates, we applied multiplication by 1/4 because we're trying to dilate this figure, but multiplying by a fourth is the same thing as dividing by 4. And that's what we did. We divided by 4. The last thing we got to do is just graph the new points. This point 0, 1 means we start at the origin. We don't go to the left or to the right because it's 0, but we do go up by 1. The next point is to -2. 2, -2. And last but not least, -1, -2. This means you go -1 left and 2 down. Once you have all 3 points, you connect them. And that's all you do. This seems a little bit easier, right? It's like when you see the teacher doing it, you're like, okay, that makes sense. But sometimes when you try doing it, you run into issues. So let me show you how it would look like on the computer when you're doing this. And it's really important that you follow the steps I did, okay? So notice how there's a triangle here, and we want to dilate it by a fourth. The coordinates of C are 4, 4. So when I divide by 4, I'm going to get 1, 1. The coordinates of B, as you can see right here, are 4, -8. So I'm going to type this into the chat. The coordinates are 4, -8. So when I divide by 4, I'm going to get 1, comma, -2. So then I go 1 and then 2 down. The last point I got to figure out is D. Where does D go? Well, D is, let me type it out. D is -4, right? That's how far we go to the left. And then how far do we go down? -8. So when I apply the dilation of multiplying by 1/4 or dividing by 4, I get that my new point is -1, comma, -2. -1, -2. When you start clicking, you're going to notice that once you click on a point, you have to specify where the other 2 points are, which is one of the reasons why I was having you, let me show you on the iPad. I was having you write out the coordinates of all 3 points. Once you connect the 3 points, you can check to see if you are correct or if you are not correct. In the chat box, I went ahead and posted the IXL link so you can click on it and log in. And I will know if you've logged in. Here, let me sign in first. Okay, so far we have 0 students logged into IXL. I posted the link in the chat. If possible, please click on it and log in. Once you have logged into IXL, I have posted the IXL link in the chat box. Thank you so much, Fatima, for letting me know that you have logged in. Thank you, Michael, so much for letting me know that you have logged in. I know IXL tends to lag a little bit. Once you are logged in, please let me know by typing into the chat box. Thank you, Shayla. Thank you, Maria Enrica. Thank you, Brian. Please make sure that you click on the IXL link and get started. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Valeria. Thank you, Honesty. Thank you, Bricia. Angel, I'm sorry I'm cutting out. There's a very high chance it could be your connection. Um, but as recommended, you could cut out the audio for me and you can join the YouTube stream. I'm gonna create breakout rooms right now so people can work on this IXL. I am gonna ask a couple of people to stay back. Virgil, is it okay if I put you in a group with students?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that we're doing small breakout groups today with this particular skill. Um, and just so everybody knows, I'm putting everybody in groups of 3, so people can support each other in case you have any questions. Um, Actually, I'm gonna put you in a group of 4. Thank you, Jade, for letting me know that you've logged in successfully. Everybody else, I'm gonna stay back in the main room in case students have questions about how to do this particular assignment. If you finish early, you have 4 different IXL skills that have been assigned, okay? And I know not everybody has worked on all 5 of them. If you are having issues with this particular IXL skill, the first thing I'm gonna ask you is to try to ask your group mates if they have any ideas to how to approach the IXL skill. If they're also having issues, on the assignments page, on modules, oops, don't want you to see that, graphing dilations, there is a how-to video. I did another video where it explains how to do it, okay? Everybody else, go ahead and work effectively for the next 34 minutes. I'm gonna be checking to see if you are actually actively working. So far, I know a couple of people are still getting started, but hopefully this number jumps up to 22, okay? And then everybody else, Dareli, Miguel, Noah, Kevin, if you could please join your breakout groups. Andres, I kept you behind because you had a question.
Hey, who were you talking to?
Andres, you're muted again. Didn't you have a question? You wanted some support on the packet? Let me know if you have any questions, okay? I'm gonna be jumping from group to group.
Do I share my screen to show you what type of question I'm asking, or do I explain it?
I can actually check exactly what it is that you're doing. So give me a second. Um,
Okay.
and then Andres, I can help you with the problem in a bit. Let me look at Michael's. Or I thought I was able to. Yeah, you might want to screen share. Go ahead and screen share.
Okay, I'll do that. Oh, you're sharing the screen right now, so I can't screen share.
Really? You should be able to screen share. It'll just ask
Oh,
the.
yeah, I can. That's a question.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Oh, you're on the Chromebook, I can tell. Okay. So is this an enlargement or a reduction?
It's a reduction.
It's a reduction, right? Because you're going from the big trapezoid to the small trapezoid. Now, let me ask you this. Look at the right side of the trapezoid, the side that's like vertical. How much does it measure?
10, right?
Count the little squares.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think it's 5, isn't it? Yeah, it's
Alright.
5. You only count the squares.
Oh, okay.
So the big one measures 5. And then look at the small trapezoid, the red one or orange one. Same side, but how much does that measure?
Mm, I don't know.
Oh, show me with your mouse which side we're talking about, just to see if you
I think we're talking about this, right?
the right side, the right side.
This.
Yeah. How much does that side measure? Like if you count how many squares, how many is it?
3
Really?
or 1.
It's 1.
Yeah,
I'm wondering
1.
why you said 3.
I thought we were going this way.
Okay.
After
So
that, 1.
so you went from the big trapezoid to the small trapezoid, and it went from 5 to 1. So, and this is a reduction, which means that your scale factor has to be a fraction. So what do you think your scale factor is going to be if it went from 5 to 1?
4. Wait, no, 5.
Well, if it was going from small to big, it would be 5, but it's going from big to small. So it's not 5.
Mm,
Do you have the class notes set up?
I think so.
Okay, go to cohort 2A, the notes you had just open. It's up there. You have it as a tab. It's
I do.
yeah, it's the third one.
The third one. This one.
Yeah. Okay, go to the next slide.
Oh,
Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Okay. So what was the scale factor here?
1/4.
1/4, right? It wasn't times 4, it was 1/4 because the sides all got smaller by 4 or a factor of 4. In your case, it goes from 5 to 1, which means you're dividing by 5. But what's the same thing as dividing by 5? Multiplying by what fraction?
1/5.
Try it out.
Ah. Um.
Man, Chromebooks really be lagging.
Yeah. So do I put 1/5 down there?
Mhm.
Uh, Do I just put this or
Well,
like
that's
that?
try it out.
It worked.
Nice. So whenever you're getting a reduction, it's always going to be a fraction.
Okay. I think I
So
understand.
yeah, if you know what the multiplier is, but you know it's supposed to be getting smaller, just make it into a fraction, 1/, whatever the number is.
Okay.
Andres, well, which question did you need help with?
One from the paperwork.
Okay. Uh,
What do you have a wood chip?
let me see if I can find the paperwork. Which lesson is it?
3.3 getting
Which lesson?
3 save. This one.
I can kind of see it. Okay, let me see. Let me bring it up on my computer. You said 3.3.
Ay, baby. Tiene tampoco.
Ah, getting perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ya, sí está él.
Okay, let me see if I can figure this out.
Hey, Maestro.
What's up?
Do you think you can send me and Fatima to a different breakout room? She needs a little bit more support, especially
Absolutely.
or are you going over it too?
I'm going over something else with Andres right now.
Yeah. If you can send us to a different breakout room.
Okay. You said you and Fatima, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna send you to room 25. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, Andres, give me a second. I'm gonna thankfully I know how to use computers enough. Watch this, watch this. Is that the pro Achoo! Sorry. Is it showing up?
Yes.
Awesome. So using a colored pencil, draw the images of P and Q using C as your center of dilation. So first things first, this is where we're gonna start stuff, right? That's
Yeah.
gonna be our center. And so we wanna elongate P, and we also wanna make Q just as long. But what's our scale factor supposed to be?
1/2.
You sure?
No, it says 4. 4.
4, right? So if this is 1, where do you think 4 would be? How far do you have to go to get to 4?
Like somewhere around in the middle of that
Yeah.
line.
In fact, it's easier for you because you actually have the paper in front of you. So if you have like a ruler, you can measure whatever this is and just keep drawing it over. Somewhere like right here, right?
Where's the ruler?
So I kind of did it by estimating, kind of like by guessing. And it kind of looks like the point would be over here. So this new point here would be your P prime. Similarly, for point Q, if this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this looks like it would be 4. And remember, we're just estimating, but if you actually have a ruler, you can figure out exactly where it's supposed to be. Did that kind of help, Andres? Okay. And then for number 2, you're just taking half of the distance, right? So I'll give you a hint. It's gonna be somewhere where I erased it. Somewhere in there. On this line and on this line. Brian, is your microphone is working, right, Brian?
Yeah.
Can you go ahead and sorry, can you go ahead and screen share what you need help with?
Yeah, okay. Hold up. Will you start sharing?
It's not, is it sharing? Why is it not working for me?
I
Okay,
think
there
it's
we go.
'cause you- Oh,
Perfect, I can see it now.
so I don't. I honestly don't know how to find coordinates or anything like that.
Okay, let's look at U. Letter U. So suppose you start at the origin at 0, 0. You first gotta go to the left or to the right? Are you gonna go to the left or to the right?
Uh, to the left because we're starting at U.
Okay, and how much do you have to go to the left by?
1, 2, 3, like 2 times.
But you're not at 2, you're at 3 right now.
Wait, hold on. I'm so confused.
Let's count, let's just count. 1, 2,
Oh,
3.
3.
Okay,
Sorry.
so that means the X coordinate is gonna be -3. Let me type that
So,
into, wait, let me type that into the chat. X coordinate is -3. So now let's find the Y coordinate. So how high do you have to go?
um, 9 times.
9. So the Y coordinate is 9. So you shouldn't be clicking on it right now because you're still in the first step, which is identifying the coordinates.
Okay.
So now let's go to T. What's the X coordinate for T?
Um, 9.
Uh-huh. And what about the Y coordinate?
3.
Perfect. Do the same thing for S now. What's the X coordinate?
9.
Okay. And what about the Y coordinate?
3. I mean, wait. -3, right?
Ooh, okay. Yeah. So now that you've found all the coordinates, now you gotta multiply it by a third. But multiplying by a third is the same thing as what?
Dividing? I don't know.
By?
By. I'm not sure. Well, wouldn't we divide it by itself? Because we're making it smaller?
Well, if you divide it by itself, that's not gonna give you anything.
I mean,
Oh, I see.
I'm so confused.
No.
Sorry.
I know what you meant. You're right. You divide it by itself. So multiplying by a third is the same thing as dividing by 3. So this means the distances or the coordinates have to be shrunk down by 3. So in the chat box, I went ahead and typed out all of the coordinates for the 3 points. So if the x coordinate for you is -3, what's -3 divided by 3?
1.
+1 or
Wait,
-1?
wait, wait. I'm sorry. Wait, I realized you said negative. Wait. Uh, I'm not sure.
Okay, well, what's 3 divided by 3?
That's 1.
But if
Oh,
it's a
negative
-3, it's
1.
going to be a -1.
Oh,
What's 9 divided by 3?
3.
So that's your new point for u. It's -1 comma 3. Let's do it for t now. What's 9 divided by 3?
3.
And what's 3 divided by 3?
1.
That's your new point for t. Remember, all we're doing is dividing by 3. What about for s? What's 9 divided by 3?
3.
And what's -3 divided by 3?
1. I mean, negative 1.
There you go. That's the second step, which is divide everything by 3.
Wait, do we divide it by 3 because up here it says 1/3?
Mhm.
Okay.
If it was 1/4, you would divide it by 4.
Oh, alright.
So now that you have the 3 points, now you got to graph them.
Oh,
So let's graph the first one, -1 comma 3.
mm, I don't really know how to graph it.
Okay, so the x coordinate is the first number. So what's the first number?
The first number.
Look at the chat box. Look at you.
I can't look at the chat box because I'm only sharing my application.
Oh. Oh, wait, you can bring it up, can't you? Like as a pop-up?
Um, I'm not sure. Oh, there. Found it. Chat. Okay, yeah, I can see the chat now.
Okay. So what's the x coordinate of u? The first number.
Uh, -1.
Okay, so that means we first move in the horizontal direction. So are we going to go to the left one or to the right one? Which one's negative?
The left.
So go left by 1, and then how much do you go up by?
3.
Okay, go up by 3. Perfect. Click it. That's your first point.
Alright, wait,
What?
it closed the chat when I clicked. I have to get it back.
Yeah, that can get annoying. Now look at t. The coordinates for t are 3 comma 1. Can you show me where that might be? Remember, you start at the origin. Start at the origin.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Alright,
hmm
well, I moved to the right because it's positive, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be there?
Okay, that's 3, 0, right? Because you didn't go up or down.
Oh, yeah. Well, well,
Hold up, hold up. Where are you going?
sorry, I'm just like, it's on the call, so I feel rushed and stuff, but
Oh, my bad, dude. So go back to 0, 0. So it's 3 comma 1. You were correct when you moved 3 to the right. And what does the 1 tell you? Does that mean you're gonna go up by 1 or down by 1?
uh, up?
That's your new point. 3 comma 1. The next point is 3 negative 1. So thank you for starting at the origin. So if you go 3, is that gonna go to the left or to the right?
the right.
What about the negative one?
Uh, I'd go down.
Okay, click it. Now let me ask you this, Brian. Do the two shapes look almost very the same?
Um, yeah, it just looks like a smaller version.
How smaller do you think it is?
I mean, if we were like dividing by 3, wouldn't it be 3 times smaller?
Ooh. All right, let's test it.
Okay, it was right.
This is it's a really difficult skill because you need to know, first of all, how to graph points. You need to know how to read points. You need to know how to multiply fractions, and you need to know how to graph. It's a lot of skills that you need to know how to do. And thankfully, we're practicing reading points. So go ahead and if you're able to, go ahead and type out into the chat box what you think the coordinates are. Y escríbelos así.
But like, could I mute and stop sharing?
Oh, absolutely, please. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
And then Michael, I see you're still here. Do you have a question about a particular problem?
Mm,
Or
yeah,
were you listening to what we were saying?
yeah, kinda.
Orale, what's going on?
On the
You're cutting out, I can't hear you. What'd you say?
oh, so I'm trying to understand the new Excel for today, so like I could get work done for both of them and then finish that.
Okay. You were in class when I explained how to approach it, correct?
Yeah,
Okay, but did it make any sense?
it made a little of sense when you were doing it, but when I'm trying to do it, it's kind of confusing.
So let's start with the basics. Do you know how to find the coordinates of points? Like how to find the X and the Y value?
No, not that well.
Okay. In that case, and this is something I should have realized because I had the same issue with my last class, aka last year. Last quarter. Identifying coordinates. Let me see if there's an IXL skill. Bro, they are tripping. Hold on, give me a second. Okay. You know what? Click on this one. I typed it into the chat box. Technically, it's a 6th grade skill, but I don't know if y'all were using IXL back in the 6th grade. This particular skill will help you learn in what direction the X and the Y values travel, right? Like when you have a point. Once you start feeling comfortable with graphing points, reading them will be a lot easier because once you know where they're supposed to go, you can go backwards. If I give you a point, you should be able to tell me what the X and the Y coordinates are.
Yeah, okay.
So try it out. And then once you feel comfortable, once you get like a perfect score on it or like a really high score, I can then I can give you one where you have to graph the points. Because that's the second part. It's like, well, actually, no, this is graphing. Practice is skill. I think once you feel really comfortable with graphing and graphing points, you'll be able to do today's lesson.
Okay.
Let me send a message to everybody. Hi, Maria Enrica. Do you have a question? Okay. What was supposed to be tomorrow's homework? I might just change it. Yeah, I'm gonna push it back to Thursday. I'm changing the IXL skills right now.
You already dismissed class?
No, I said 3 more minutes and then I was gonna bring back students and then send them on their ways.
Okay.
I'm noticing, so this particular skill requires students to know how to graph, how to read points. And a lot of these kiddos are struggling with reading the points.
Yeah, I think a lot of like they see the first number and they know that they need to multiply that first number by whatever the dilation is, but they don't understand that they need to multiply that second number as well.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? So they see
yeah.
that it's on like, oh, this is on 4, but they don't realize that it's on 4 and 2. You know what I'm saying? With the coordinate
Mm-hmm.
or the points. So they just multiplying that, oh, 4 times 4 is 8. So it just goes straight up to 8 instead of like moving it over the other 4 to the other point
You
as
know,
well.
I'm gonna actually switch the homework around. So yeah, I realized after working with a couple of students, they need to know how to graph points. And
Yeah,
if they don't know how to graph points, they're gonna struggle with this.
exactly. And they need to understand that each point has 2 coordinates or
Mm-hmm.
2, what are they called? X
Yeah,
and Y.
coordinates. Yeah, coordinates. 2 values. So welcome back, everybody. I know we have about a minute and a half left of class. So after getting feedback from Virgil and other students, I realized that you need to know how to graph points in order to be able to even do today's IXL assignment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push back the IXL assignment that we were working on today for tomorrow. So what I mean is you don't have to worry about completing it. In fact, today's IXL assignment is a review skill graphing points. So this is a 6th grade skill, right? It's a grade 6 skill, but I know last year you probably didn't graph as much, which is one of the reasons why a lot of us forgot how to graph. Graphing the point -1, -6. Suppose we graph it wrong, right? Let's just say we graph it wrong. Instead of clicking next, if you don't know how to graph and I'm not able to help you for whatever reason, take a look at the notes here. It literally tells you the ordered pair tells you the location for the point on the plane. The X tells you the horizontal and the Y tells you the vertical. A negative number tells you to move left or down. So that's something I was working with a student about. -1, -6 would be down here. If you're getting these questions wrong, please look at the explanations. There's a reason why they explain the problems. So today's IXL assignment is just going to be graphing points. Remember, you need to get at least a 70 here in order to get credit. I'm already at 10. Thank you all. If you have any questions, remember you can always message me or text me and I can provide support if I'm available at the time, okay? So your homework for today is to complete this particular assignment, which you can find on Canvas. Thank you all and have a wonderful Tuesday, all right? Have a good one, Fatima. I'm gonna go ahead and end the call, all right?